Story time. A lot of you may not know this, but I used to work at a pet grooming salon. I did that for about 2.5 years and it was a lot. I saw about 25 to 30 different dogs a day. And some of the stories that I have, for example, there was this one time when a dog came in. The way we do it is that there's a chart with the dog's name and it's in order, and then you have to pull them out of the cage and put them in the tub. When I pulled this dog out of the cage, you have to be careful because you can never know if a dog's gonna bite you or if it has cage anxiety. But this dog was super kind and sweet. However, when I was pulling him out, I noticed that this dog was super dirty. And usually you can't physically see the dirt on the dog, but I could on this dog. It was a small dog, about yay big. So my thought was like, okay, I just have to shampoo him and like rinse him a little bit more. So when I started rinsing him at first, I started noticing little black specks jumping off of him. We're using a white tub so I can see these clearly. I had just barely sprayed him and I saw that they were fleas. I said, oh, this dog has fleas. So I had to move him over to the flea tub and then rinse the tub out. This keeps the other dogs from getting fleas and this prevents everything. We have a special shampoo for fleas. Okay, listen, this dog was black and white, but the white part of this dog was basically brown. And when I started putting the flea shampoo on him, I have never seen anything so. Part 2 of the dog flea story. When I started rinsing this dog out and putting the flea shampoo on him, I have never seen so many fleas gathered in one place in my entire life. They were covering his skin to the point where I couldn't even see it. Imagine stepping on an ant pile and you see that giant herd of ants flowing out of an ant pile. That's what was happening to this dog. Usually I would see maybe 5 or 7 fleas on a dog. No big deal. This dog, I'm going to be real with you, had hundreds, maybe thousands of fleas. How could they let it get that bad? I have absolutely no idea. I had to leave the shampoo there just to let it sit. Once I finally rinsed it out and I was able to see his skin was raw and pink and scratched up and flaky. This dog wasn't even trying to scratch himself. He had just given up. He was so sad. He was really like, this is my life. This is what it feels like to just be alive, to constantly be uncomfortable and in pain. His skin was terrible. I had to brush fleas off of me because they were jumping everywhere. It was like sand on a beach. I literally can't even describe it. Anyway, I got the dog cleaned and we washed him and everything. I have no idea who the owners are. Just please take care of your dogs. Why I don't drink coffee, or more accurately, why I barely drink coffee. Let's get into it. So you guys already know I took culinary in high school. This time I was a sophomore taking culinary too. And I had a new chef. This chef was tough, but me and him, we had an understanding. Anyway, culinary, we often sold cookies and drinks for a price to the other students. However, for me, I would do some of the jobs that the other students didn't want to do. Washing dishes, putting things away, scrubbing things. Anytime something needed to get done like that, he'd ask me to do that and I'd get free cookies and drinks. You best believe I did that because I didn't have no money. One day my teacher created this concoction, basically this giant espresso caffeinated beverage. It was huge and it was one of those giant tank-like drink suspenders. That's not a word. It's filled with sugar and he mixed it up and he's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna sell like crazy. He said, Joe, you can have a giant cup of this. Like, you just wash the pots and pans, which I did. I was like, sure, I never have coffee. And the reason I never had coffee, because I wasn't allowed. My dad didn't let me drink coffee. So then he gave it to me. This is part 2 of why I don't drink coffee anymore. So I drank the coffee. I thought it was meh. I was honestly expecting some Drake and Josh Zoe 101 coffee effect. I was just honestly expecting to just jump off the walls. But I was chill. There was no effect. I kept asking Chef, hey, when is this gonna kick in? And he was like, maybe coffee has no effect on you. And I was like, huh, that sucks. So I went home and, eventually tried to sleep. Let's just say it was 2 a.m. I was rocking back and forth in my bathroom, crying because I couldn't go to sleep. I tried everything, reading the Bible, blinking as fast as I could because I heard that makes you fall asleep. It was just the worst night ever. And I went to school the next day, exhausted, not wanting to do anything. Take that, Chef. I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't keep food in my room anymore. At least why I don't keep this particular food in my room anymore. So when I was a kid, my dad used to leave the country a lot. Every time he would come back, he'd always bring us some sort of goodie. It'd always be like bracelets, t-shirts, and candy. One time after a trip to, I think it was Dominican Republic, brought us back a bunch of lollipops. These are not normal lollipops like you're thinking in your head. These are these giant brown flat lollipops. Now, instead of eating them, me and my sister decided it would be best to hoard them. Yes, that's right, keep them in our room for as long as possible. For what purpose? I don't know. I think it was probably like, no, we can't eat them now. If something happens and we need them. Bruh. It's not every day that we got candy, apparently. So we kept them in our room. We kind of put them on display, up against the wall, right in between both of our beds, in this very room. This time I was about 6? My sister's about a year and a half older than me, so she was like 7, I guess. Now, these lollipops were given to both of us. They were displayed equally distanced between both of our beds, because they belonged to us both. I'm not really sure how this happened. But one night, me and my sister went to bed, but then my sister started tossing and turning. Calls out for my mom. My mom comes and she's like, what's wrong? Oh my God, I'm running out. This is part 2 of why I don't keep food in my room anymore. So my mom came into our room. She asked my sister, hey, what's wrong? She was like, oh, my body, I'm itchy. Mom's like, oh, maybe there's a mosquito. My sister's like, no, it's all over. She moves my sister out of the bed. Maybe it's your bed. She looks at her blanket. Oh my gosh, there's ants here. She shakes the blanket. Ants crawl everywhere. Under her pillow, ants. She lifts the mattress. Guys, her bed was infested with ants. Why? There was the faintest trail leading to our lollipops. My mom's like, hey, you get out of the bed. So I got out of bed. They checked my bed. It was completely clean. There was one measly ant. Literally one. One. My bed had no issues. Sister could not sleep there. So they ended up throwing our lollipops away and we were devastated. And my sister got a lot of unnecessary ant bites and I didn't get any. It's okay, because every time we go outside, I get swarmed with mosquitoes and she doesn't get bit at all. Damn, bye. Why you should always check your pockets. Or why I always check my pockets. You never know where you're gonna find. I was in 9th grade. I got kicked out of my Spanish class. I already did a story time on that. I got sent to the guidance counselor and they put me in culinary class. Freshmen typically aren't allowed to take culinary. It's typically reserved for upperclassmen. Since my teacher kicked me out a week late, there weren't a whole lot of other classes for me to go to. So I ended up going there. When I arrived, most of the students had already picked out their hats, their chef coats, so I had to just randomly pick from the bin. I was really scared and intimidated. Anyway, our chef said just grab a random hat and chef jacket, which I did. When she was instructing us on how to make chocolate chip cookies, I stuck my hands inside the pockets and I felt something. When I pulled my hand out, I had found a gigantic wad of money. It wasn't no tiny wad. No, it wasn't just ones. I want to get on my teacher's good side. I was the youngest student. I went up to her and I was like, hey, I found this gigantic wad of money in one of the pockets. I showed her the wad and she dead serious looked at me like this. She took it from me and it was the shadiest thing ever. In return, she said, this is part 2 of why you should always check your pocket story. So I gave my teacher the gigantic wad of money. When I first found the money, my thoughts were, of course, I'm rich! That lasted 0.3 seconds before I was like, I need to give this to the teacher. Which I did, and again, her response was super, super weird. She kind of just took it from me and was like, and I was like, it was like a super awkward moment. And I was like, dang, I already got off on the wrong foot. Like I left and I was like, oh, let me just do my work. Later on in the day, she came back to me and she was like, thank you so much for giving me the money. That was actually from a fundraiser that we did. And I was like, And just to say thank you, I'd like you to take 3 cookies if you want. You can take 3 cookies. I was like, okay, sweet. I was like, cookies? All right, sweet. These taste like rocks. Rocks made out of sugar. Can't complain, we made them. See, the class ahead of us made them, so it actually wasn't us. Anyway, check your pockets, guys. You never know what you're gonna find. I get some nasty chocolate chip cookies out of it. Hey guys, can I tell you the story when I hit this girl in the face with my backpack? This was elementary school. Calm down. Guys, I used to be a little fighter. I used to be a little... I'm not like that anymore. I am now a pacifist. Okay, well, I don't know if that's true. I'm peaceful now. I'm harmless. Unless you touch my dog. Don't touch my dog. I don't know what this little blonde girl's problem was with me. And she wasn't little. She's actually bigger than me. But she used to mess with me, push me around, comment about what I was wearing, shove me around in PE and on the playground. And on top of all of that, this girl rode the bus with me. Oh, I'm one of those waiting for like you to do some real damage for me to like, that's what my parents taught me. So finally, I'm just trying to get on this bus, trying to go home. This girl stands up, literally blocks my way. What did I do? Picked up my roller backpack, shoved it in her face. Right there, right there. This was her face. Yup, move. I'm about to get myself. Tell me, who are you gonna tell? The bus driver? I was proud of myself. Guess who tried to be my best friend the next day?